This is where we spark change, ignite hope, and empower you to take control. It's time to rewrite the script. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Rewriting the Script. I'm your host, Sasha, and this is where we spark change, ignite hope, and empower you to take control. And on today's episode, we got a real special guest, Hannah. You want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Hannah. Well, I go by Hannah. My actual name is Ariel.
Okay, so we just gonna jump right in.
Okay.
So tell us about what you do.
So currently under Hannah, I'm a fitness coach, for the most part, but Ariel is a healthcare recruiter,
Okay.
a mom, and many things. I also do hair as well. But
Period.
as far as Hannah,
Uh-huh.
that's a fitness coach.
Okay. So how did you, let's talk about your fitness first. How you get into the fitness and all that, like where did that start?
So basically how I got into fitness was I had like a life-changing event. So I had a series of life-changing events that kind of led me down the pathway to fitness. Basically I asked God for a way to cope, right? So I just feel like in my lifetime I experienced like more than one type of tragic event that most people experience like one or two of in a lifetime. I've experienced several, some in like a 3-month time span,
Right.
So one day I thought I was handling the situation well, and my daughter had told me, she was like, "Mom, you sleep a lot." But I actually didn't sleep. Well, the only time I felt comfortable to sleep was in the day. I go in and out of having insomnia. Well, I don't have it anymore. But sometimes I would stay up for a year at a time, 3 months at a time, 6 months at a time. And the only time I can get sleep is like during the day and maybe like for an hour. So I would work, be done at 5 and maybe fall asleep on the couch at like 6 to 7 and then be up all night and this would go on for months. And then I took my kids on a trip to Disney, and I took a picture of I saw a picture of myself, and it was like, dang, when you start looking like that? And it was just a combination. And then I came back from the trip, and I was washing my hair, and it was coming out.
Okay.
So I was like confused on what's going on. Like nothing should be breaking my hair out. Dang, when did you gain that weight? And your daughter apparently thinks you sleep a lot. So basically the situation that I went through, the last situation I went through that put me into that state, I didn't even realize I was handling that way. So I was just asking God for like a way to cope. And like I told you, I had insomnia. So really I was up at 3 a.m. I was clicking through like Facebook stories, and I saw this girl named Gwen's story. She was at a gym. I'm like, dang, I went to a twerk class at that gym like right after I had the baby. I know where that's at. I had moved at that time. That's down the street. I looked on their website and I saw that they had a class at 5 a.m. So I was like, okay, in 2 more hours, I can go up there because I'm like, I can't sleep.
Right.
So I really just saw that in the middle of the night, went up there at 5 a.m. I paid for 3 months and I started working out that day.
Okay.
And I never, ever, ever stopped working out from there.
That's what's up. So, and then with you being a trainer now, what made you want to go that route?
So basically from the fitness thing. So when I first started working out, every single day when I would leave the gym, when I would park in my driveway, I would just cry, but I wasn't sad or anything. Like it was like I would just cry. Like as soon as I park, I don't know why this tears would be coming out, and I'm not thinking of nothing, not feeling anything. So I think it was like my body purging whatever I wasn't like handling. So I would just do that, and I did that for like 3 months, and then from there, the trainer I had, she would have like hot girl summer boot camp. So at that point, so I started off those first 3 months, and I would purge. And then some new girls came because it was a special type of camp. And when they came, I found out I was sweet. I ain't know I was sweet in the gym. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, wait a minute, I'm strong.
Right.
So then I started getting into the gym thing because you gotta think I started working out because I couldn't sleep and I needed a way to cope.
Right.
And I just went with whatever God put in front of me. So I wasn't not into it. I was just showing up every day because I couldn't sleep. Right. So at that point, I got into it. And then I started like paying attention to certain things like, dang, I've lost weight, but my face is real round and my stomach is real round. So then I started doing research, and that's when I found out about high cortisol levels. And that made sense on why I couldn't sleep, why I was only sleeping during the day, why I could perform really well at work. And like after that, I'm lazy basically. So I started doing research on having high cortisol levels. And that's when I got into like all the vitamins and things like that. And then from there, I was seeing more progress. And then I started noticing things that weren't happening at the gym. Like I'm a mom. I had 2 kids, one of them a C-section. So some of the workouts that we were doing weren't catering to me.
Right.
So outside of the gym, I would go do my research. So now I didn't research like cortisol levels, vitamins. Now I was researching PCOS. Like I was diagnosing myself to figure out what is happening with my body outside of the gym. And so from there, I was figuring out different exercises I should do to help with the C-section belly. And I got into correcting gut health and all that kind of stuff. So you know, it went from there. So with me doing all that research, I started going to the gym on my own outside of my trainer. So I was going to the gym 3 or 4 days a week with my trainer, but then I would go to the gym and test the stuff that I learned for what I wanted. Because as a plus size girl, I didn't go to the gym to lose weight. I went to the gym to cope with my life.
Right.
So I didn't really necessarily see nothing wrong with my body. I noticed I had gained more weight than normal. So yeah, I mean, we can get rid of that, but I didn't necessarily see anything wrong with myself.
Right.
So if I'm going to do this, because I'm into this now, I want it to make sense. So I started researching like a curvy type of look. Like I didn't want to just lose weight and be flab. That's not what I wanted.
Right.
So I started looking at doing research on how to, you know, have a small waist. I started doing research on how to get rid of like a mom belly, all that kind of stuff. So I would test it out in the gym. And then from there, I noticed like, oh, this is what you need a trainer for. Because for me going to the gym, I started noticing like, dang, how I keep up with how many reps I do. How I know what exercise, like how I need something to write this down.
Right.
So I started going to the gym with like some other girls, and I'm like, dang, I'm testing out my workouts on them. Like they want to go to the gym, and I'm like, hey, can I come up with the plan?
Right.
And I'm like, how do I write this stuff down? So I came out with a fitness journal where you could track your exercises for 6 weeks.
Right.
Because also I felt like your change, you shouldn't be doing the same thing. So with my trainer, I was doing the same things over and over, but them wasn't always the things that my body needed.
Right.
So I think I require some reflection, some changes after a certain amount of time. So basically you're able to track like your weights, your reps, your exercises, the things that you do. And like in the front of it, I had put like Babe workout, and it was like a workout split to tell you to do like back, ab, and booty exercises. So that's basically the exercises I focused on to like give you that hourglass shape, because I didn't just want to be square or anything like that. So from there, I came out with the journal on a Friday. Monday, I went to training, and some way or another, I ended up getting dumped by my trainer. And
hold on, dump.
Which baby, I got kicked out of there. Like I don't even know. Like I really, at this point, now this was the first time in my life though that like. So at this point, I have been working out for a year. So this happened in February of 2025. I started working out in January of 2024. So in February of 2025, I came out with my fitness journal. I got dumped in February. Okay. On that Monday, so like, remember I told you I asked God for a way to cope.
Right.
So I went to the gym.
Right.
And so my trainer, she would play gospel music like on Mondays. I just felt like yes, that was the place. And no matter if, like I said, if it wasn't serving me or not, like if I had to do it, I was like attached to the place and the person, kind of, to be honest.
Right.
So when she dumped me, basically, I don't really know what happened. I think it was a misunderstanding that had to happen in order for us to separate.
To break off.
Because we actually were kind of close. It was just
wait, but when you
random.
say dump, I need you to elaborate. Because what do you mean dump? Like you can't come here no more. You
meaning I trained at 5 a.m. and at 11 a.m. I got a text saying I don't want to train you no more. I'm sending your money back. Here's your money, and you blocked.
Oh, okay.
So, that's how that happened. It actually had crushed my heart, to be honest with you. Like I was really sad about it, but also I was like, I am so afraid to fall off. You know what I'm saying? So I started thinking of stuff. I'm like, all right, I just came out with my fitness journal. I'm pushing it like crack. I ain't gonna lie to you. Hey, who need this? You need that.
Yeah.
So I saw people was buying it. I saw like 20 copies in the first 2 days. And then I'm like, okay, people buying it, but they don't know what to do with it.
Mhm.
So also, like, I was going to the gym with a group of girls, but they weren't very consistent. And I was really, really afraid of like falling off because this is how I'm handling my life. My life is not easy at all. It's actually very difficult. And this is the thing I got to cope.
Right.
So I put in like a group chat. I asked a couple people like, let me show you how to use the book. So not even saying I'm gonna train you, like, let me show you how to use the book. And I thought I was coming up with a scheme, y'all. I swear to God, I told my friend, I said, look, I think I'm gonna market myself as a professional accountability partner. So that way people pay me to work out with them, but it's making me go to the gym.
Right.
So I won't fall off. You know what I'm saying? Genius. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop playing with me. I know what I'm doing around here. So I had the girls come in with me to the gym. 2 people volunteered to let me show them how to work the book.
Okay.
And then from there, I just was like, I just want to try out a class where we're doing back, ab, and booty exercise. Just one, just like a boot camp. And I'm like, because a lot of people was watching me work out. So I posted every single day that I worked out. So I'm like, you know, how about I just do something one time and that's going to be that. So I went to a couple different places and they like had turned me down. Well, they said yes in my face and never was sending confirmation. Okay. So I don't tell people my plans. That's just something that I learned within this process. I learned to be still and be quiet in order to hear God.
Right.
So one day it was on my heart to tell somebody about what I was planning. She actually had called me crying and I'm like, you know, some kind of way it led me to talk about this. She was like, I know a lady who's having a place and she's looking for somebody to do a fitness class, blah, blah, blah. I hit her up. We met the very next day and I'm like, yeah, you know, I was thinking of doing a fitness class to kind of explain my book just one time. And she was like, all right, you want to do Mondays and Tuesdays or whatever day I was doing it on? Mondays and Wednesdays. I'm like, whoa, slow down. You did hear I say, I ain't nobody's teacher. I'm just trying to explain this. And she like, yeah, you know, and I'm like, all right, well, can we just do Wednesdays to start off? Like if she confident, I'm confident.
Right.
And she like, yeah, so when we gonna start? And at first we was gonna start in like 2 more weeks. And I was gearing up for that. And then I was like, no. So we started like 3 weeks later. But from there, I just have a certain type of way about myself. I don't like being in positions where people can tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, you know? Right. So I immediately looked up a program to get into and I started grinding to get certified as a trainer. Cause I'm like, well, now this ain't going to be a one-time thing. This is something she said we're going to do regularly. Ain't nobody going to be calling me out like I'm a fool and I just made this stuff up and now, you know what I mean?
Right, so, right.
I was grinding like every night, studying, reading chapters. And then I ended up getting certified.
Right.
And that's really what led me into the training. So for my book is 6 weeks long.
Okay.
So I did the girls for free for 6 weeks and they actually looked good. And I was certified as a trainer, and I was doing my classes. My classes doing well. So I said, let's just see what happens.
Right.
And in my first month of training, I think I got 10 clients or like 7 clients off rip. And it's just been going from there.
God.
So I just literally don't know what happened. It just happened. I just had certain ways about myself that kind of forced it.
Yeah.
And that's how we ended up here. Really, it just came from me trying to explain my book.
Yeah. But no, that God happened. That's what happened. He gonna open the doors that need to be open. And clearly your time was up there.
The way I see it, honestly, from me just looking at hindsight and then at the timing, I asked God for a way to cope, right?
Right.
I didn't know how that way was going to look, but when he gave it to me, I took it, I did it, and I stayed dedicated to it, and I just was going with it.
Right.
So you got to think, I hear 1 year in January. I had 0 expectations. I came out with a book to help me be able to work out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was really for me. If y'all wanted to buy a copy off Amazon for $10, then go ahead.
Right.
But it was really for me. So he was like, I see you.
Mm-hmm.
You listen. So I'm going to give you something else.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what I think that happened. It was a purposeful misunderstanding that led me down this path for me being obedient.
Yeah.
Because like, who said the gym was the way to cope?
Exactly.
But it was. So then he gave me the space to be able to make money and to help other people.
I think that's really dope. That's dope. So, okay, so outside of the gym, you know, your training and, you know, you being a fitness coach and your book and stuff, like, what were your like your tragic life events that like led you here?
So most of it surrounds me being a single mom. So I think with my daughter, she's 11 now, but when I was pregnant with her, I was in an abusive relationship. Her dad was extremely abusive. And when I had her, it was around 3 months where I really just could not do it with him. I think it was like July 3rd. And then maybe in August sometime, I took her just to like a 6-month checkup. And it was like her heart was skipping beats. And I found out like she had a heart issue.
Okay.
She ended up going straight from there to Children's and having open heart surgery, things like that. And then within that time, her dad, make a long story short, he stole my car while we was in the hospital.
Not the girl, yeah, from the hospital.
No, he kept forcing me to leave the house. So when everything was happening in open heart, I would not leave her side. So when she had that first open heart surgery, they had to keep her asleep to slowly restart her heart.
Okay.
So he kept like, can we leave? Can we leave? You know? And the nurses was like, maybe you should, because you haven't left, you haven't changed, you haven't bathed. And I'm like, okay. So we got in a car accident right outside of the hospital.
Oh, wow.
But my car wasn't messed up, but it wouldn't start. What I didn't know was like it has a shut off on impact.
Yeah.
So the closest place was his grandmother's house. I got it towed there.
Okay.
He got it jumped, and he had been going back and forth to see his girl, just side chick. Wasn't even coming to the hospital to see the baby. I would have never knew my car was down there. You know, you could have been saying you could arrive. So the girl, she was like, she called me. She said, if I was with somebody and my kid was in the hospital and this person, you know, she told me that way. So basically I had someone go get my spare key. She gave me her address to go get the car. He had all his clothes in the car. I took them clothes and I threw them away and I got my car and I went back to the hospital. So once he found out I took my car back, he told me like, you know what? And I'm like, you could have at least been visiting the baby. He's like, I don't care nothing about that little baby. I actually be smacking her and holding her breath every time you're not looking. Goodness. You know what I'm saying? So I remember a day where she had a weird cry. You know what I mean? So from there, that's the beginning of that portion. Yeah. And then she ended up having another open heart surgery later. And I made up my mind at that time that I was going to be a single parent. Told myself like, no matter how hard it get, nothing, I'm just gonna do it by myself. And I think it was one time when like she was 2, I started a new job and I let him get her for that day.
Even after
one day One day, 2 years old. Mind you, he told me this when she was 3 months. So I said, okay, you got some, she's bigger. One day, 4 hours, right? I get her, when I come back to pick her up, she has a big slit across her face.
Oh, yeah.
So him and that girl that told me before, she had once told me too that she should hate me and my baby. They had him at the park, had her at the park, and they, now her face is slit this way. And when I asked him about it, he didn't have nothing to say. And when I tilted in to like look at her more, he started beating me in the back of the head with a pop bottle. So that was just it. That was just it. I'm done. I can't do it. Under no circumstances will I ever. I don't care what I got to do. And so time went on, and I'll be honest, there were some other times that I got pregnant, and there were some other times that I stayed pregnant for a little while. We were going to keep these babies.
Is this the same person we talking about?
Like after going on in time.
Okay.
And anytime a dude gave me an off, then I would switch, and I said, I can't keep the baby because I'm going to be a single mom twice.
I got you.
And so I was like a person who was having abortions, but wasn't necessarily pro-abortion. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. They was eating me up.
Yeah.
So, move on. Now I had one last abortion, and this baby, I was going to keep. We had godparents picked. It's even pictures to this day on the internet of me pregnant. The first time I went to Miami pregnant. The dude switched up on me. And I was going to keep going anyway, right? And the day of our first doctor's appointment, I'm like, I'm a fool, bro. I'm by myself. I ain't even got nobody to watch my current kid for me to go to the doctor's like, why is you finna do this again?
Right.
Like, that's dumb. It don't even make sense right now. So I went and I had an abortion. From there, I just went into grind mode. I'm just grinding. I'm like doing hair, this and the third. So then like a guy tried to talk to me. He was like an old friend. And I'm like, dang, like I knew him and his family forever. Like, I'm actually kind of fucked up right now. I think I want to do right by him. So I'm gonna get into therapy, things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, why I'm dating him, because he don't even know what he getting into. I'm messed up because I think I'm going to hell. To be honest with you, like, so from dating him, time go on, I end up pregnant. So before I end up pregnant, like, this dude had like, whatever. We ain't gonna go too many details on that. But I end up pregnant. Right when I end up pregnant again, that's the same thing happened that has happened with the other dudes. Like, something popped up. And it's like, you can't get another abortion, girl. So I just didn't make no decision at all. I said, I'm not going to decide. And like, he was constantly like, trying to talk to me. I just was in like a weird space. And then we had like a flip where he made the decision if we was going to keep the baby or not. And he decided we was. And it was at that point in time, I knew, I was like, I'm never going to be happy again because I'm be a single mom twice. And it was really because I knew what it took to be with him. I knew I wasn't finna do it. I'm not about to do it. So in my mind, I knew I was about to be a single mom, 2 kids. In my mind, I know I don't got no help with my daughter. In my mind, I know I'm about to do what I got to do to take care of them, but I'm not never about to be happy again. Like, I already know this. So I used to say it all the time, like, I'm gonna give up my happiness for my kids. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not gonna be fair. So when I had my son, me and my son's dad actually wasn't on bad terms in my pregnancy outside of the very beginning. And I think that's what made it hit worse. So right before I had him, so I was talking to him. I needed to come and get something from him, but he wasn't really answering the phone. And so it was the day before my baby shower, while I was driving over there, a lady, you know how you come off the freeway and it's a yield sign.
Yeah.
She must have been doing something else and she thought it was a stop sign. So she abruptly broke and her brakes got jammed. And so that made me hit her because it was no way for me to stop.
Right.
So at that point in time, my stomach smashed into the steering wheel. It was a bad accident. This is like around the corner from his dad's house. All this kind of stuff. And all I can remember is like, his dad was calling me. You know what I mean? While that was happening. And so, make a long story short, they take me to Sinai Grace Hospital. I'm at the hospital. And like after they could not find my son's heartbeat. Like they couldn't find it for nothing in the world. So I'm like, dang, he dead. You know what I mean? So like it's time for me to call him. They didn't know yet though. So they just had me waiting so they could figure it out. And I'm calling him and he not answering. So I knew a girl that he used to date was staying at him. Make a long story short, he was on a date, girl. And then it was at that point in time he picked. So like this whole time he was supposed to be with this girl, we locked in, you know. He chose this day to pick. I don't know if he didn't believe I was in the hospital because I don't think that was the right time to pick, but he picked. He made a choice because like he was texting me. I'm on the phone with her. They in the car with each other. And he chose her, you know, like, fuck it. Like, she right here next to me. So from there, you know, that was the beginning of the tragic things that happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, that was heart crushing. I just damn near died on my way to you. Right. And this is what we found out. So boom. So from there, like after that, like, you know, me and her end up finding out stuff. And like she ended up leaving him. Then I had nobody around me. Everybody left me hanging. So the only person I had to be like, help me through this moment was this girl. Right. You the enemy. You know what I'm saying? Like it had got so bad. It was so bad that like I crashed out one time on Facebook. It was 65 people. I was like, because you know what? People see me in this type of light. They finna see me on the news. You know what I'm saying? They gonna see me in the news, probably about to go to jail for murder. I just want them to know the truth. Mind you, like I'm postpartum. I skipped the part. So after I, you know, boom, I got in an accident. Then I had to have a baby. Now, from around the time before the accident and after the accident, I was super swollen. I really had preeclampsia. They told me I was supposed to have that baby in July because of the preeclampsia, but then they was like, no, but they stopped taking my urine. And that's when I got in the car accident. Now, when I got in the car accident, my head was bust open, my legs was bust open, that stuff went healed. That was the first clue that I had preeclampsia. So when when I had my son, I kept going to the doctor because I'm like, I feel weird. So on the day that they induced me, I was dying. Like if I wouldn't have went, I was going to be gone. So I would like just wake up after some hours. Like I'd be sitting there and I'd wake up after some hours. So I was like passing out. So when I noticed that happened, I just stood in the shower. I called my doctor a million times. They had me come. They was like, sorry, we promised we didn't see this before, but we got to take him right now. You do have preeclampsia. And I had been going every day. Yeah. Like begging them. So that happened. I had my son. And then 3 weeks into my maternity leave, I got laid off. So I done got in a car accident, got my little heart broke. I'm sick. And then I got laid off. And I got a newborn baby and a daughter as well. So from there, you know, that's when I linked with the girl, you know, and unfortunately this ended up being the person I have to lean on during this point in time. Right. So we go on and on and on. You know, I'm doing what I got to do. Some kind of way, me and my son's dad reconciled and I'm pregnant again. Now, it's not even necessarily the situation with him. You know, he not necessarily a bad dad. He's a bad person to be with, but not a bad dad. You know what I mean? Right. But in this situation, I don't got no help. We don't got no help with him with our current kid. So it was like my son's first birthday coming up, and I knew then I was pregnant, but I said I'm gonna wait until after to take the pregnancy test because I ain't trying to run the day. I took the pregnancy test after that, and I was just like, like being real about the situation, a single mama 3 is insane. Because I ended up getting a job that I work from home, and I do that with my son. I work from home with my son. I don't got no, not trying to down talk like call center or customer service jobs. I don't have that type of job. I have a real career where I'm working. I'm in meetings with CEOs and all that kind of stuff, hiding my baby at first, overworking. So when the time they find out that I got a baby, I get passes because I'm the best person on the team. That's literally what I did. So I'm like, bro, I can't do that. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, I promised God I wouldn't do this no more. That's why I had my son. If I would have knew that I would put myself in this position again, I just wouldn't have had him. You know what I mean? But now I'm here again. I'm for sure going to hell. Like, that's just all I was thinking. Like, this is my mindset. Like, I'm through. So I tried to go the first time. They said it was too soon. And I think this is what made it worse. The first time they said it was too soon. The second time my son's dad didn't make it back from out of town on time. And then the third time I was finally able to have the procedure done. And from there I shut down. Because I'm like, it's over with. Like, don't nobody know this around me. It's also a secret. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm going straight to hell. And when you sign that contract to hell, you just like, what can you do but just live the rest of your days? Girl,
it's okay.
So this is where I came to cope with. I'm going to hell. I'm never going to be happy, but I owe these kids. I done kind of been here before, though, where maybe potentially, possibly, I done messed up real bad. And, that's why I said, God, I know because of my daughter, if not anything else, you're not going to let me suffer. So, that's why I said, give me a way to cope. So that's why I say the weight loss. I thought I just gained weight right before. That's because I was pregnant. So when you have an abortion, your hormones keep going. So I had an abortion in October. We went to Disney in December. And so, my hormones was going. So that's why I was bigger. And so it's just like, all right, I know you're going to make sure the kids is straight. I know I'm a feed off of their blessings. So just give me a way to cope. I don't want to be upset. I don't want to question you. Like, at this point, I'm surrendering because I signed my contract. Like, I'm already not a perfect person, and I had one too many abortions. That's not good. Like, I don't believe in it myself, and I'm having to do it. And then I then contradicted myself and did it again. I know where I'm going, so I'm surrendering. I just want to be obedient. I just want to be able to cope. I know that I'm going to be unhappy for the rest of my life. I know where I'm going when it's all said and done. I just want to help me cope. So, yeah, that's the life changing events, girl.
But what's crazy is that you say all that, but look where you at now.
Yeah.
Because that just shows you, like, no matter what we do and what we've been through, like, God forgives us for everything. In that mind, during that time, it just felt like you said, oh, I'm going to hell, I'm not going to be forgiven. But technically, like, that's what Jesus died for. He died for us to be forgiven for our sins. We just repent. Things happen, lives happen. And unfortunately, we made some choices maybe that we shouldn't have. But as long as we repent and, let him give it over to him, he will literally change it around. And he forgives us for everything. Everything he forgives us for. Besides, what's the one? When you, I think blasphemy. That's the only thing that can't be forgiven is blasphemy. But anything else, we're forgiven for.
I think for me, what it really was, like, beyond being forgiven, what happened between me and God was like a beautiful thing to happen. Like, this is the first time in my life, like, you've been in situations before where God came and saved you, forgive you, whatever the case the scenario was. It's rough in that time. You had moments where you doubted, But I just thought back to like when my daughter was a baby.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, I know for a fact you gonna like come through for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to like question you.
Yeah.
I also didn't want to be like suicidal or homicidal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it has been times where I felt lows where I just like where I felt like I wanted to die or I wanted to hurt somebody, especially when it came to my daughter. Like the things that was done to her used to haunt me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like nobody protected her. Like he just living his life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for me, I think what happened was this was the first time I ever trusted God 100%. The prayer I prayed every day before I started working out was I wanted a way to cope. I know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I know I got to, pay my karmic debt. I just, if it take a long time, I might give up, but I don't want to.
Right.
So I'm not saying don't punish me. I'm not saying none of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying give me a way to cope because I don't want to question you and I don't want to give up.
Mm-hmm.
So this was the first time that I did that. That's why I think of the timing. Once I completed 1 year, I was still going. Like this is what God told me to do. This is how I'm supposed to cope. This is how I'm being obedient. He said, I got you.
Exactly.
I got you.
Obedience is key.
And you show, I don't know what made me show it. I always refer back to the time when I went live.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like 65 people sent me at a low.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like 65 people gonna see me do what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why I was so confident that I would end up in a good space, but I didn't know I would end up here like training people and things like that.
Yeah.
But I knew what I was capable of and I knew what God was capable of.
Yeah.
And I just kept going at it. But this was the first time that we really clicked like that. And I don't talk to God. I talk to God like my friend, like my homeboy. I get mad at God. We talk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this is real. What happens
That's
between us? It's a real relationship.
Yes.
So I'm like, this is the first time I 100% trusted. And I was just being honest. Like, listen, I know I could thug it out.
Mm-hmm.
But if it take too long, that's when I start doing the thing.
Yeah.
So if you give me a way to cope, we could do this for years.
Mm-hmm.
And until it's my time to, for whatever you got for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I just need a way to cope. I don't want to question you this time. And I definitely, the suicidal and the homicidal thoughts, I used to beat myself up about it. Because you know what I'm saying? Like, I used to hate those days when I felt that low, like I wanted to die or something like that. I would be so mad at myself for getting that low.
Mm-hmm.
Or the homicidal thoughts, I mean, it is what it is. That's for that other person. But it's the ones where I felt so low myself and I started hearing it from other people like, you need to forget yourself a little bit. You're a little mean to yourself a little bit. You a little this. And really, the gym is what helped me have a better inner conversation with myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't at this point think I'm going to hell. It's no way possible that those things, like, no, especially what I've done afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, I have been obedient to God. I spread the word of God. I listen. I told God I'm willing to let anybody go in order to actually never end up in those spaces again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where I need to find a coping mechanism. So what gotta go? This friend, I love this friend dearly, but you gotta go. This relationship, this guy, you gotta go.
Yeah.
I was going to certain fitness classes and things like that. They were fun, but to be honest with you, I could not hear. I couldn't hear God. So when I would go and I would be in silence, because I think you have to be still sometimes.
Yeah.
I would notice that people would take my silence and my distance a certain type of way. However, in them days when I was praying, it was just me and God. So the only person I owed the loyalty to was God. Yep. So unfortunately, whatever y'all think, it just gotta be that at this moment.
Yeah.
Because I have to.
Yeah.
I promised. I messed up. So I have to keep my part of the bargain up that I said whatever can go, whatever I gotta give up, to do what you had to do. And that's really how I ended up in the training spaces, because I started having fun, and not saying that you can't have fun, but the fun was distracting me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to step back from the fun to hear.
Yeah.
And once I was hearing, then you know the fun could pick back up. But you are a soldier, you are a warrior, you are a worker under God. So that comes first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the fun was
Yes.
later. So I had to report the work, because
Yeah.
I really feel like, you know, not to get too spiritual, but it's a spiritual warfare going on, right?
Yeah, for
And how
sure.
I feel like I'm a warrior, but like on a high level, like a maybe a superintendent or something like that. It's just because of my life circumstances. Like we picked up from the kids. We could go back further.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of tragic things happen to me.
Yeah.
And I will always meet people afterwards that seem like they needed to see somebody who had went there. Like when I was in an abusive relationship with with my daughter's dad, I saw this girl I was going to high school with, didn't even know she was in an abusive relationship, but she saw me choose to be a single mom. So she left that situation. She would have never did it. But it would go on and on. And I used to always say, like, I think God made me really, really strong to endure what other people can't.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just my purpose. Like, I'm an endurer. And, you know, it's like a spiritual warfare going on. And I think from all that endurance, it leveled me up in the spiritual world where I'm a leader of broken spirits.
Yeah.
Like I'm a person who have experienced pain, hatred, darkness in order to bring people to the light.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's some people, they experience light, they can only speak from the light.
Yeah.
But it's other people who live in both worlds. And I think I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
That's just how I've always felt, because I'm like, dang, I experienced like a down low boyfriend. I done experienced, you know, all type of things.
Yeah.
Like Jesus. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It has been so much on my heart.
Yeah. And it just sounds like too, like you know, I'm the true believer of God don't give you nothing you can't handle. You're able to endure those things, and your strength. Girl, you got some strength, okay? You got some strength. And also too, like to go back to the relationship part, people if you've never like actually started to build actually, like you just said, a relationship with God, I don't think people understand how much he gonna take. That's where it starts. A lot of stuff he started to be like, give me that.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't want you doing that no more. And the conviction, like I remember like when I first start getting deep in my faith, even now still, like there's some things that God been convicting me of, and I'm being honest, I ain't let go.
Yeah.
You know, but it be so much stuff that he be like really tearing, like it's making me emotional, because like you grieve it.
Yeah.
You really grieve it. It be so much thing, you be like, well dang, what, you know, do that really matter? And yes, because obviously he see what's on the other side.
Yeah.
But it's so much stuff that he be taking from you, and it's not like he trying to punish you or anything. It's just like he's the one who truly knows us inside out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that we've touched and we experienced that we should have never touched or experienced anyways, because of our own choices.
Yeah.
So when he trying to tell you, you can't do this no more, you can't hang out with these people no more, you can't, I don't want you doing this no more, it's because where he trying to take you, those things can't go. And because he knows you, some stuff you really like, and you know how that we take stuff literal in the Bible, like when he say cut it off.
Yeah.
That mean anything that's gonna cause you to sin, you cut it off. If you know that you're gonna be in a room and there's something that you're gonna be tempted to do and you're not strong enough to say no, why would you put yourself in that space?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it comes with a lot of getting stuff taken away from you at first, and it's only to give you something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He can't give you something if you still have this in the way.
Yeah.
So it don't be that you trying to distance from people or you don't want to be around people no more. People just really, and if they don't understand, so what?
Yeah.
It ain't, because guess what? We the only ones that got to deal with the backlash from God, not them.
Yeah.
So if God is telling you to do something or cut something off, you have to be obedient, and your friends, your people, your family just gonna have to understand. Like, because sometimes we don't even understand. There's things that he told me, and I'll be like, man, I don't understand this, but it ain't for me to understand. If he told me to do something, you gotta do it. Because that obedience, I'm telling you, you're gonna get the consequences of the obedience. So I'm a true
You
believer
also
of,
gonna get the favor of the obedience
yeah,
as well.
and I'm also a believer of grace. I feel like God gives you a grace period.
Yeah.
Where, okay, you if I told you to stop doing this, or I told you to cut this off, and you gonna continue, he gonna let you see why. You know what I'm saying? But that hits hard. That hit me hard because I'm still struggling with some things.
Yeah.
So for
But
that,
sometimes you just got
that's
to get
hard.
fed up.
Yeah,
That's
no,
what it was with me.
true.
Like, I'm not doing this no more.
Yeah,
I said I'm not doing it a million times. No, I mean it. I'm not doing this no more.
yeah.
I'm not doing this no more. I'm not feeling like I'm not doing it another time in my life. Also, I think that that's another reason why I started training, because I don't know, it's like the women that I come across, like I just be like, how I try to speak life into them, and also give them that balance. Like I feel like I got from God, like that support, but that like stern no. Like stern, get busy. You could do better. I'm not here to baby you. I'm gonna do it with you though. So that's one thing I think stands out for me from other trainers is I do train with, I work out with my clients.
That's one thing I like.
But I feel like when you be down them dark roads, when you done messed up, God walk with you. We gonna do this together. But you gonna see what I said. I said stop. I said get it together. So we gonna come on. Come on. I'ma hold your hand. Come on, we're gonna do it together, but you're gonna do it. And that's kind of like my program that I run with training, and I don't leave God out of it. I be clear that you can do better, you can go harder.
As you should, and I love that. Like, regardless of what nobody thinks, make God of part of your business, whatever. Your whole entire life, you need to be at the front line, because I feel like that's the only way it's gonna work.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing your story, bro. You got a strong testimony. I just want you to know
I ain't
that.
telling again till I'm famous, girl.
Period. And guess what? You said it here. You was on here first. Yeah. We're writing the script. So I appreciate you coming. Y'all check it. You want to tell them more about your business, where to follow you at, all your information?
So you can follow me on Instagram at BabeFitness. Also, on TikTok, BabeFitness, and then my fitness journal is available on Amazon's $10. It's called You Can Go Harder by Hannah Ursley.
Period. All right, and we'll catch y'all on the next episode. We out.